Hey guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Taku, and in this week I had a photo shoot with two of my friends. We're basically shooting in Braamfontein in Joburg, and today I'll be just walking you guys through on how I shot these photos and basically giving critique to the photos I shot. So in this photo shoot I was shooting with two models, Dumiso and Theo. So basically before we started to shoot, prior to the photo shoot, we created a mood board basically with some inspiration for the photo shoot. Things like poses, location, basically the vibe we're trying to go for. So as soon as we arrived here, I quickly knew that I wanted to have the character or the model within the center of the frame, because number one, we're already greeted by this frame here, so it was kind of automatic for me to have my subject there. Another thing I also liked is that we have these lines here, these leading lines that we have. I believe once we have all of these lines that we have going on here, the lines basically point us to the subject, so it's also a very easy decision for me to make. Another reason why I like this photo is because that it showcases all of these textures that we have here, like the writing on the wall, the graffiti, and obviously in the beginning the look that we're trying to achieve was like having like a street photography type of a shoot. So if I had shot these photos to be more cropped, I would have been missing out on all of the details that we're getting out of this. Another thing I'd advise the model to do is to just move his chest a bit back, just so he kind of like leans back in a way, the same way these buildings are leaning back. So I feel like just those little details can make the subject to look like he's one with the location. Another thing I also liked about this photo is basically this harsh light here. So we're basically shooting at 12 o'clock, and obviously you know that the sun is very harsh. So in this situation I could have had my model stand in the complete shade here, but I just advised him that he come in between the sun and the shade. That's why we have this strong contrast that we have here. So this is the next this is one of the photos that I liked from this location, but in this scenario I ended up having my subject come directly into the light, into the sunlight. So basically if you have someone coming into the sunlight, especially if you're shooting in harsh light, their face ends up becoming a bit dark. So I ended up using my speed light. I basically directed the speed light towards the model. That way I managed to like fill his body with some light while the background is dark. I believe using a speed light during the day, it gives it some kind of vintage type of look. So this is just one of the photos I'm happy with from the day. So this is our second location. So this is basically one of my favorite photos that I shot from this location here. And something I like about this photo is, again, these lines that we have here, basically these triangles here. And like I was also emphasizing on the other picture, basically whenever we have angles or triangles in the photos, they can help us guide us to the main focal point, which is the two models here. For example, I can say, if let's say our start point is here, then the end point is here in terms of the viewer's eyes. Once they start to look at the photos, they come here, then they cross until here. So before they even get to the end point, they already met with this main subject here. So it's just one of the things I like about using angles in photos. You could also see it here, even within their hands, we just have angles here. Yeah, another thing I also like about this photo is the way we have contrast here within this ground here, and also here in the shade. I think it just makes the photo more unique or more dynamic in a way-ish. I think most of the critique I'm giving here, I think it also goes along many of the photos that I shot on this day. So while we have these lines going up and down here, we also have the models posing in the same structure, if I may say. Here are just some more photos from the same location. I also like this one, the way the sun just hits the ground with the shadow. So this is our third location. I think it's very simple, it's not complicated like our first locations where we're shooting, but something I like about this location is basically the lines that we have here. I think they contribute to the overall photo. Another thing I like is basically her facial expression in both photos here and here, and also like how I have centered her into the center here. I've made her like the main focal point of the photo, and also the way she has placed her feet to the ground. I think it kind of like the way she has placed her feet with the overall pose and the seriousness she has. I think it conveys like a sense of seriousness, like a sense of stability in a way. And also like again, just like these little triangles we have here, we also have them here. I think they also contribute to the photo because they add some kind of dynamic, I don't know how to put it, but they just add to the overall photo itself. It's something else I always like to contribute within the photos. And then the pose we have here, I think this one is a bit more relaxed. It's not as tight as the first one. Also like the expression. In overall, I think it's a very nice photo. I just like the seriousness it gives. And also another thing I like is the texture that we have here on the ground. It's not very clean, it's not very perfect. I just like that imperfections it has, like this dirty textures here. Also this tiny object that we have here, I think they also contribute to the overall thing. I could have cleaned up all of this, but I just decided to leave them there because they also give like a nice touch to the overall photo. So this is our second location, and something interesting is prior to this location we're actually running out of locations to shoot, and then I actually remembered this location here because I've shot here before sometime last year with my friend Garabo. So basically this is my favorite photo from this photo shoot, and something I just like is this buildings that we have here, this architecture we have. I believe it complements the model and also the dynamic pose that she's in. Another thing I also like about this picture is also the angle from which I shot it from. This is like a mid-low-ish angle. It basically lifts the subject high and also makes the subject to stand out. This entrance here that we have here, I think I was too lazy to remove it, but I think I should just remove it just so this is the main focus here, because if you look at the image there might be a time where you are just turned to this image because it's very bright in it of itself. So this is one of my favorite photos from this location also. There isn't too much going on here besides the model herself. I like the pose that she's in and also the facial expression. that she has. Another thing I also like is also the way we've captured the hair within the picture. Here we can see like the movement in a way. And so basically this photo was shot within the shade. As you can see outside this picture here, we have this harsh sunlight. So since I was shooting this on the Sony A7, obviously the dynamic range is very high, so I managed to extract some of the dark areas that we had within this photo. So here are just a couple of photos from the same location. I just ended up also taking more close-ups because I think I was spending too much time taking on wide shots, so I ended up taking more close-ups during the photo shoot, and also just moving around the building and finding better angles to shoot. And then this was just the three of us. So at this point we're done with the photo shoot and we just had to get packing. And then there's a photo of me. I just thought I might as well just get one photo before we end the photo shoot. So guys, this is the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. So I actually have more photos I wanted to critique, but you guys just comment below if you want a part 2, because there's more photos I was gonna cover here, but I think this is it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and you learned something from today's video.